The president set to spend several hours meeting with his Russian counterpart Dmitry Medvedev and as well as his predecessor, Prime Minister Vladimir Putin. It is a trip that aims to thaw U.S.-Russian relations. Joining me now for some perspective on all that, Steven Sestanovich, Senior Fellow at the Council on Foreign Relations. Good morning to you, Steve.
Morning.
Let's talk about what both sides say they want to do, which is improve their relations. And you've got words coming from Obama like, let's turn the page, let's reset the button. Medvedev saying talks will open up new prospects for the development of our relations, and he has a purely pragmatic agenda for their meetings. You've worked at the State Department. Do you think both sides are capable of and interested in doing the give and take that it takes to do what they say they want to do?
Well, both sides have used this metaphor of pressing the reset button. And I think there's a desire, particularly among the top leaders, to actually improve relations, put aside some of the problem issues. But the question is, on what terms? This is a summit that's come together really quickly. They've got a lot of complicated issues to work on. And just to simplify it a lot, the American approach has been sort of, let's see where we can agree and put all of those agreements into the goal of showing that we're resetting relations. The Russian approach has been, if you want this agreement, then give us something. We would like you to address some of the things that have bugged us over the past couple of years. So they're holding things up in order to get more of what they want.
Okay.
Predictable diplomacy. As
we have seen the president overseas, he's got this kind of Obama magic that works to the crowds and the masses in other countries, and the way they turn out for him is really quite something to witness. Does he have the potential for doing that with the mentality there in Russia and Moscow?
Well, he's going to be speaking to a variety of audiences. He's speaking at the New Economic School, giving a commencement address to the best and the brightest of Russian youth who have adopted a kind of modern way of thinking about Russia in a global world. That audience is going to like him. The broader audience that is going to hear, well, the United States doesn't mean Russia any harm, they're still going to be skeptical. And the military, the elite, the KGB people who run the country under Putin, they're going to be skeptical too.
Okay. Did you keep that IFB in your ear?
I put that in
because I told you I didn't think we were going to listen to something, and now I want to have you listen to something what the president said, because you've got former president and current Prime Minister Vladimir Putin, who very much still in power. And the president, when talking about this upcoming trip, made a reference to the Prime Minister, former president, in this Thursday interview. So let's listen to what President Obama had to say. Got that in?
Prime Minister Putin still has a lot of sway in Russia, and I think that it's important that even as we move forward with President Medvedev, that Putin understands that the old Cold War approaches to U.S.-Russian relations is outdated.
Is that an insult at Putin, and is that a bad way to start?
Putin has spent the past couple of years insulting the United States, so I think this is pretty mild by his own standards. But there is a difficult problem here which President Obama is wrestling with, and that is who's really in charge and whom do you deal with? He's spending Monday talking to President Medvedev. He's having breakfast on Tuesday with Prime Minister Putin. He's hoping to get the agreements reached on Monday. But if Prime Minister Putin wants to show that he's really in charge, you may discover that some of those problem issues slop over into Tuesday and are on the breakfast agenda.
I think you probably are right there. Okay, Steven Sestanovich, Senior Fellow at the Council on Foreign Relations. Stephen, thank you very much for weighing in. Or
Pleasure.
Steve, I know your mom calls you Stephen. There you go. Thank you.